TCP/IP model. We use TCP/IP model only. We are not using OSI model. It is a network model. What is this? Actually, it is a network model. Okay. But OSI is a reference model. We don't use directly. We don't implement directly. But what is the use of this OSI layer? It is used to understand network functionality and troubleshoot network issues. It is like a guideline. Any issues occur network related, so OSI layers are more useful. And also it is also used to understand other protocol suites. What is protocol suite? TCP/IP is a protocol suite. IPX, SPX, Apple Tag, these are different protocol suites are there to communicate in the network. See, different organizations created different type of protocol suites to communicate from one system to another system, right? So to understand those protocol suites, to troubleshoot the issues in the network related issues, okay, by using that protocol suites, okay, understand what is their functionalities and troubleshooting issues, and understand different protocol suites, okay, to understand different protocol suites. Different protocol suites like a TCP/IP is a protocol suite. So that is also useful. The OSI layer, learning of OSI layer is important. These OSI layers is standardized by ISO, International Organization for Standardization. This is an organization which gives standards like this formula is a standard formula. This is the standard organization. This is standard management employees. Like ISO standard is there. This is an organization or a product. Either it is an organization or it's a product or a management or the business is following the ISO standard or not. Okay. So ISO, International Organization for Standardization. Okay. So here there is so many names are there. We are already, I think we discussed. So we'll go to this OSI model. OSI is a 7-layer model. These are the 7 layer. The bottom one is a layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, layer 5, layer 6, layer 7. Okay, their layers are written in from bottom to top. Okay, so these first 3 layers, the application presentation session layers called top layers or upper layers or software layers. Okay, these are the software layers. The bottom 3 layers is bottom layers or hardware layers. Okay, hub comes under physical layer, switches comes under data link layer, and router is comes under network layer. So the hardware devices wise also they are calling these 3 layers as a hardware layers. The middle layer is a transport layer, which is the 4th layer, end-to-end connectivity out of OSI layer. Okay, guys. So these layers, while you are reading or while you are telling, you can tell from top to bottom or bottom to top also. For example, I am telling, so what are the OSI model? So tell me the 7 layers of OSI model. Application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and physical layer. Correct answer. For example, you are telling answer like this. So what are the 7 layers? The layer 1 is physical layer, layer 2 data link layer, layer 3 network layer, layer 4 transport layer, layer 5 session layer, layer 6 presentation layer, layer 7 application layer. That is also correct. Or you can say physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, application layer. That is also correct. Guys, either you tell from top to bottom or bottom to top, both are right answers. Okay. If someone maybe pointed out, again, remember guys, someone like a senior kind of staff person or a manager position person is there. If you said like, no, you must tell from physical to application only, application to physical is wrong because you have to read from 1 to 7, not 7 to 1. Then what you have to tell? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your given information. That's it. So don't argue. Okay. Some people don't change, guys. They think they know everything. Even they know they don't know. They want to show. Okay. They want to do some show business in front of others, right? So point is, I have seen a lot of textbooks. I have gone through the Cisco trainings and Cisco textbooks I read, and no, CompTIA N plus textbooks also there. There is different places, different ways they will write. Some textbook write from physical layer to application layer. Some textbooks write from application to physical layer. Okay, but for me, I know what it is because of already yesterday I told when you are sending for because of you don't receive until unless someone send, right? You're sending somewhere it is received, right? This is the destination receive, source send. While you are sending, the message will go from application layer to physical layer. Okay, and physical layer actually send messages through network, and at destination means at the receiving side. The physical layer will receive and the packet will go up to application layer to the machine. So on both side it is correct. While you are sending application to physical layer and while receiving physical layer to application layer. So this is the main small points about 7 layers. You must read twice, thrice. Okay, repeatedly you have to read it and give some gaps. Then you will remember. Practice is important, guys, and understanding is also important. And I discussed about the protocols and their port numbers, guys. Different protocols are there in the network while you are communicating in the network. Each protocol represent a particular service, okay, or a particular type of communication. Okay, server and client understands what is that kind of communication it is. It's a web related communication. Are you what is web related or file related, mail related, remote access related, authentication related, or IP address related like a DHCP, or it can be a DNS kind of communication, or it is a network time communication, or it is a monitoring related communication. So what type of communication it is, what type of request or a response it is, we can understand by protocols only. Each protocol having their port number, guys. There is a certain port numbers are reserved for a certain protocols, so we cannot use these port numbers for different services. Okay, so HTTP, HTTPS both are used for a web communication purpose. The HTTPS means secure. Okay, so the web communication secure means data transmission from client to server, server to client is encrypted. Whereas if you are using HTTP, data is not encrypted. Okay. FTP, you want to upload a file or download a file from remote PC. So I will show you, this is a FileZilla, because I'm telling about a application layer also comes here. That's why. Guys, this is the web browser. You can see this is the web browser. I want to access a website. So from where I can able to access? Using web browser. Web browser is an application, right? And can you see this is a protocol. So here in a application layer and protocols also will combinedly, these are the protocols are required. These protocol works in this application only. So it is a application, client and server side application, and what protocol we are using and what type of communication it is. That is the main thing. So you can see this is a FileZilla. FileZilla transfer the data means it will upload the data to remote server and we can download the data from remote server. This FileZilla works with FTP protocol. Okay, so this is the remote server IP address, and of course you cannot directly upload, right? So we need a username and password and their port number. FTP is a plain text type, means data is not encrypted in FTP. FTP data is not encrypted. VSFTP or SFTP are encrypted format. Guys, this is the SSH and Telnet. What is the use of this SSH and Telnet? I will show you an application. This is the Putty application. I'm using this application to connect my remote server, which is SSH server. So I can connect SSH server or SSH device from my Putty application. So here my remote server IP address and SSH protocol, and it is a port number. When I click open, so I'm connecting to my remote server, give the username and password, then I can able to access, I can able to control, I can do settings, I can do configurations. Same way Telnet. The Telnet is also same thing. You can see this is a Telnet, port number is 23. So I can connect it to my remote machine, which is the Telnet protocol it is using Telnet protocol. I can connect it to the remote machine. I can connect it to that remote device or a remote server with their IP address with the Telnet protocol, and I can use the command line interface to do the settings or configurations, okay, or usage. Like if I have a Linux PC, I have a Linux PC is there. I want to communicate it to my Linux PC. I want to do certain settings in my Linux PC. I want to install something in my Linux PC. How to do? So this is a Linux machine IP address, SSH protocol, and port number 22 open. Why? Because of Linux is by default SSH way communication is there. Internet suite, there is no internet suite, but it is, we call ITCP/IP as a protocol suite. Means it is for internet purpose only, means network communication. Internet suite, I don't. Okay. So what is this SSH? SSH is also used to communicate a remote PC, to communicate a remote machine, or to connect a remote machine to access remote devices. The data is encrypted while you are connecting and transmitting any data or accessing any data. So data communication is encrypted in SSH. In Telnet, it is also remote access related, but data is not encrypted. RDP, remote desktop. What is a remote desktop? I have a server or maybe some remote machine is there. Okay, like a Windows machine generally. Okay, I want to do certain settings in this machine, so I will access this desktop environment in my PC. I want to access, I will access. Okay, so I will show you this mstsc is a tool to open this kind of stuff. Okay, so remote desktop connection. So here you have to give remote server or a remote PC. So both are there, remote desktop or remote desktop computer can be a server computer. I'm giving their IP address here, then username, click connect. It will ask for a password, give the password, means connect with the password. So we can use the remote machines desktop environment, that is called a RDP, remote desktop protocol. SMTP, POP3, IMAP, these are all used to communicate for a mail communication. Okay, SMTP 25, POP3 110, IMAP 143. SMTP protocol used to send mails to the mail server. You have a mail server, you want to send a mail, that is SMTP protocol. Guys, this is an Outlook application. It's a mail client application. It is a mail client application. Okay, it is a mail client application. What is my Outlook? Outlook is my mail client application. Use it to communicate. What is this table? Table is not formatted properly. That is the problem. So currently I will reduce this size. Okay. So what is this application layer, guys? So look at here. So I'm open Outlook. I'm in Outlook, right? This is a Outlook is a mail client application used to send a mails and receiving a mails. So what I'm trying to say is actually application layer. So client and server applications comes under application layer. Protocols, port numbers also comes under application layer. It is dealing with your client side application as well as a server side application. Client side application like a web browsers, Outlook, Putty applications, okay, FileZilla kind of applications, RDP, mstsc type of application at a client side. At server side, you have a web browser, means there is a web server, right? Web server by Microsoft Internet Information Service, HTTPD service, tomcat kind of services are there. Okay, sorry, HTTPD application packages, tomcat kind of packages or applications. The server become web server. And mail servers. Okay, mail servers. By installing Microsoft Exchange or Zimbra applications, a server become a mail server. Like you are connecting with SSH, means there must be SSH server is required. You want to connect a remote machine with the Telnet protocol, then we need a Telnet server is required. So you have a FTP, a FileZilla application is there. It is a FTP client application, but there is a FTP server is required. Okay, FileZilla, cuteFTP, these are all FTP client applications, but you need a remote FTP servers by installing FTP server app application or a protocol inside. Same goes for RDP. You have a RDP remote desktop protocol in your PC to connect. You are using this one to connect the remote system, but other server must be a remote desktop service server related. Okay, guys. So what is an application layer? Application layer is dealing with the protocols, port numbers, of course, client side applications, server side applications. So here it is given them some different where human process data and information. Actually, application layer give interface, user interface part. So these two parts are there. So we have to learn all these things like a rote learning. What is a rote learning? Yeah, so I don't mind about it. Yeah. Okay, guys, you are into the networking side or a technology side. It is compulsory. Learning is good thing. So like if you stop learning, then you have to get out from this or any company it is what are the technology you are working currently. You have to keep learning. Okay, at least this is the starter point. Yeah, I will tell up to here and I will give you a small break. Okay, so encoding and decoding. Presentation layer do encoding and decoding. Whatever the data it is, can you see here it is some text data is there. So sometimes you are attach a file, right? While you are sending attach a file. So it can be in any format, right? Text format, HTML format, JPG format, MP3 format, GIF format. So whatever the data it is, whatever the data format it is, it convert into ASCII format. Next one is data is compressed. So the heavy data will be compressed to save the space. Okay, to save like we can bigger the data will be compressed. So then we can send the lightweight data. Okay, we can encrypt the data. So already we discussed in the protocols. That's why I told protocol first. See it is HTTP, HTTPS. HTTPS encrypted data. Okay, SSH data encryption is there. RDP also do encrypting the data. So even data encryption is there compulsory in a presentation layer. It encrypt the data. Next one. Now presentation layer don't do multiplexing and demultiplexing. That is transport layer. Okay. Guys, from session layer, I will session layer, create a session, maintain a session, and terminate a session. Guys, while you are sending at session layer, it create a session ID. It create a session ID. Okay. So while you are sending, it will create a session ID. So whenever this session ID received by at recipient, okay. So first of all, we send a request and you will get a reply, right? You send and you receive. So you are sending, it is received here. Again, it will send and you will receive. Once you received, then session ID will be completed. Okay. It is very small line, but it is very powerful, guys. I will give you one example here. Okay. Do not press back or refresh page. Why when you see while you're transmitting like payment time, so it will ask don't press the back button or do not refresh the page. Why? Because of the session ID will be damaged. You don't know what happened, whether the transaction is successful, transaction failure also we don't know, because of the session ID will be changes. So you have to transmit complete data. One transaction, complete transaction means sending and receiving should be completed in the same session ID only, same session. Okay. If network is disturbed, session will be disconnected. Okay, that's the point. Okay, understand, guys? Session layer. So I gave one example already. Okay. No, no, okay. Just take a 10 minutes break. So I will be back in 10 minutes.